Hey guys, Dissection of Violence here. We got another one for you. UFC Perth Madalena versus Prates. Should be a good one. Let's see here. We getting going? Yeah, we're good to go. Okay. Oh, just quick say a quick hi to the little fella. Hello. Alrighty. Oh, oh. Let's get going. We get another one. Make it quick for you guys. I know this is coming out mad late, but let's try to get it done for you nice and quick. So we got UFC Fight Night Vegas last card. It was pretty good. We're gonna try to run through it in under 10 minutes. Let's go. Julia Plastri versus Alencar. Alencar showed a lot of improvements. Really impressed with her performance. A lot of improved striking, good kicks. She actually outstruck Plastri for a lot of this fight. It was a good fight. Yeah, pretty happy with the live spot. Better a little bit pre. Really good cash here on this card. This was a good start to the card, and just kept going. But yeah, Piastri gets the Alencar gets the win. Moving on. Sorry. Ugh. Victor Valenzuela got the win over Griffin. It was a pretty good performance. I'd say he scrapped pretty hard. Um, yeah, it was a pretty good performance, and yeah, pretty happy with that. Griffin got the, third round, I would say, but that's about it. I'd say all the rest of the fight went to Valenzuela. And yeah, cashed that, played that pre-flop, cashed that. We had Marshall in a parlay, two parlays, and Marshall got the win there. So that was good. Pretty easy performance. Brendan didn't really have a hope, so happy for that. Happy Marshall got the win there. I also had him by decision, so that was good. Cash that. Could really well for props. So cash Marshall decision. Moving on, we had Cody Durden versus. Oh, sorry, we had Rafael Filo versus Cody Durden. Cody Durden did what he had to do to win. Um, Really disappointing fight for Filo. He looked really bad in that fight. Yeah, definitely won't be as I won't be looking at him with the same lens as I did. I thought he was a lot better than that. Guess not. It is what it is. Not that Cody's terrible or anything, but Chappelle should be able to win that fight. But it comes down to the Brazilians being lazy, and not all of them, but a lot of them are, and he's an example of that. So pretty bad performance for Filo. Moving on, Michelle Montague versus Mayra Buenosova. Montague by decision, pretty easy. First round was a bit scary, but man, she is horrible on the feet, and Mayra Buenosova almost actually got her out of there, honestly, at a few points, but not like it was close to being stopped, but like she could have probably won that fight. One second, I don't trust this cat. Sorry. Cat gets a little bit. I don't. He's weird with the bat in the bathrooms. Freaking, I don't even trust him in there. But yeah, Michelle Montague, she got the win. She's easy on the eyes, so it was fun to watch. But other than that, Myra's fight IQ cost her the fight. She won the second round. Third round, she could have if she just kept the back and just sprawled and brawled, but she kept playing jiu-jitsu, and against Montague, she's just giving her all the chances possible to win the fight. So Myra is likely getting cut. Moving on. Jackson McVeigh versus Tadrikas Dumas. Dumas, I had a feeling I had McVeigh round one or Dumas decision. McVeigh round one is what ended up happening. Dumas is horrible, absolutely terrible. So he's likely. I think they're giving him one more chance, and yeah. Moving on, this is probably our cash cow of the card. We had Eric McConical at plus 300. I thought the odds were absolutely crazy, insane. We also had decision. Played that pretty decently as well. Had a live spot plus 750. It was a pretty good spot if you ask me. Rodolfo Vieira came out strong in the first round with grappling, but he couldn't keep the pace, and Mechanico just ended up beating the crap out of him in rounds 2 and 3. So happy Mechanico got the win. Great spot. I love that spot. That was one of my favorite spots of the year to cash. So great. Really really happy that one worked out. So yeah. Mechanical, just making sure I'm making time. I want to be under 10 minutes. Yeah, Mechanical gets the win. Happy, happy days. Moving on. Marcos Buchecha versus Ryan Spann. Marcos Buchecha is horrible. I don't know why I thought it'd be a good idea to bet him. He is really, really bad. Yeah, done with him. No more UFC for him. If you're fighting someone with terrible jiu-jitsu, I'll just bet the sub. Other than that, you're pretty useless in my opinion when it comes to betting. I don't know how someone that bad or someone that accomplished in jiu-jitsu can just be that bad when it comes to MMA wrestling and grappling. He just really has no control. Throws just goes submission over submission or position, and yeah, I just don't. He trains at a great gym and just still can't get it done. Just yeah, horrible, horrible, horrible. Span gets the KO, Unk body Span. Yeah, fun fight. It was pretty comical the way he just flew off that right hand. That was pretty fun. Moving on. That was one of the two pre-flop bets that I did lose, unfortunately, but it wasn't like they were big bets anyways, but annoying. Hardy Busellis versus Montel Jackson. Hit this one live. This one was a really good live spot. The main thing that you got to consider, anyone who's saying robbery, is you cannot finish a round with someone on your back near a rear naked choke all 3 rounds and expect to win the fight. I thought it was unanimously roundy, but whatever. I'll take the split decision. Cash that live spot as well. Yeah, split was super generous for Montel, but if they gave that to Montel, that would have been a pretty bad decision. Yeah, win for Ronnie. Good win. Moving on. Davy Grant versus Adrian Luna Martinetti. I had Davy Grant. I just thought Martinetti was a fraud, and it proved that he is. He's dangerous, but against better guys, he's going to lose every time. He's just too hittable. He doesn't have the best process, and yeah, he hasn't really beat anybody. So, Vologden and him are two frauds, and these last few cards where he fought Castaneda and got his ass kicked, Vologden did, and now Martinetti got his ass kicked by Grant. So just shows that they can't hang in the UFC at this level. So yeah, feel vindicated on that. Davy Grant gets the win. Got cash live and cash pre on that. That was awesome. Moving on, we had Alex Hernandez versus Rafael Garcia. This was the second live or pre-flop bet, that spot that I lost in the card. Again, not the biggest bet, but still pretty annoying. Hernandez looked really bad out there. Absolutely got just tooled for the pretty much the whole fight. I'm surprised they gave him the third. Yeah, Hernandez just doesn't like pressure, and if he can't hurt you, then he gets really flustered and he doesn't know what to do because he doesn't have the cardio to offensively wrestle. And yeah, he had some good scrambles, but other than that, he looked really bad out there. So half a probably career best performance from him, but man, that was a really bad performance from Alexander. From Hernandez. Yeah. Moving on, the Battle of the Yams, Norma Dumont versus Edwards. Edwards prevailed. Norma just goes out there and tries to figure it out as she goes. No real game plan. And yeah, Edwards just couldn't get it done. Edwards just was trying more, actually trying to like scrap. Dumont was just playing that counter boxing game that she likes to play, and didn't really pan out this time. And she was surprised by the decision. I wasn't. She just didn't. She didn't do a lot. Round 1 and 2 were pretty close. 3 was, I feel like, all Edwards. So I'm not surprised they gave it to Edwards. Moving on, we had Aljamain Sterling versus Yusuf Zalal. I end up just playing Aljamain because I just feel like we're not going to get plus money for Aljo in a long time. I do think Zalal's good, so I didn't go too big on it or anything. It was a pretty small bet, but yeah, it was pretty wild. I had to live bet even more because man, they made him a dog again at one point, and I'm like, well, Aljamain is just winning the grappling. So other than that third round, he was just winning the grappling, and that was a really really great performance by Aljo. Really impressive fight. Great grappling. Both guys are super high level, so that was really cool to see. But Aljo is just a different level on the ground. So, guy going toe to toe with Magomed Evloev or Magomed. Mavzar Evloev. Yeah, that was a really good performance in that fight too. So this guy's just a gamer, knows how to find ways to win, and yeah, Sterling's that guy, man. Yeah, great pre-flop bet. Wish I went bigger on it. Overall, I went really good on the card. I think I went almost 15 units on that card. That's probably my biggest card of the year, honestly. Parlays, etc. That was just a really good card for me. A lot of good live spots, pre-flop bets. Really, really happy with that. Yeah, just can't say enough good things about that card. Picks could have been a lot better, obviously, but picks are not, they don't define what my card's going to be like bet wise. So, I could have a pick. Like, for example, I had Vieira winning the fight, small lean, negative one, I think 30 or 40, and I had Mechanical because they gave me plus 400 or 300. Yeah. So it's like, I got to take those value spots when I see them. And yeah, it is what it is. I'm happy. Okay, guys, let's see what time we did. Let's see, under 10 maybe. Yeah, a little bit over 10. I'll deal with that. Pretty good timing, I'll say. Moving on though, let's get to the UFC Prates versus Magdalena card. You guys let me know if that recap was short enough or long enough for you guys. I just want to get some feedback, see if it's not enough of a recap. It's also Thursday when I'm getting this video, so normally I go a little longer post, when I get it out early, but I really want to get this video out for you guys. We had some last minute additions, so it does justify my decision to wait a little more, but even then, I don't know. I feel you guys like the early previews, to get maybe lines before they get nuked, but it's a UFC, it's a pretty big market, so we're not going to get exactly the lines, the non-nuked lines anyways, so we're going to get maybe 50 cents off. It doesn't really fluctuate that much. It's pretty crazy if it does. But yeah, guys, let's get right into it. UFC Perth, first fight of the night, Cody Steele versus Demar Fan. Yeah, man, I don't know. I really think this is a close fight. I think Fan technically on the feet could be better, maybe. But I don't know. I think he's gonna struggle with the power of Cody and the grappling of Cody. I think Cody's jiu-jitsu is far superior. He went toe to toe with Rongzhu. He's got devastating KO power. Um, you know, he's not exactly a slouch. He beat Sam Kilmer as well. He's a pretty good grappler. He lost to RoboCop, eh? Regardless, though, he's beating guys like PJ Barch, competing against Echeverry, or not Echeverry, Mikael Galval, got subbed by him. No shame in that. Ronaldo Jose Souza. These are high level guys. So it's like you're losing to him by grappling. It's like he has this good experience. Trains with the Tackett brothers all the time. So I don't think DeMar Fan's going to pose him any problems on the ground. Cody inside the distance probably makes most sense to me. I just think DeMar Fan is going to be. He doesn't really react to getting hit that well, and he's been subbed by Quillen before. I do think Quillen is good, but I don't know. I think he's a bit overhyped, and I do think this is a good spot where Cody can get a win because, yes, I do think DeMar Fan is decent, and he could make this an ugly fight and win a decision. But I don't know, man. Maybe Cody can get the finish. So I'm gonna lean Cody here. I don't know what I think about these current odds. Let me see what they are. Um, Sorry guys, just want to see these odds. See them. Okay, negative 200. Yeah, it's pretty fair odds, honestly. Like Cody's pretty highly touted. I know he lost to Rongzhu, but Rongzhu's pretty good, so no shame in losing to Rongzhu. So maybe he loses here, but I don't know. I'm gonna lean Cody here to get the job done. Definitely not a fight I would run to bet like as a lock or anything, but I do think there's values potentially on props. I haven't really looked at the props odds, but I'm gonna look at inside the distance probably. Maybe Cody sub. I don't know. We'll see. Cat's making my head itchy. I'm gonna take it off. It keeps me itching. But yeah, Cody sub. Cody Steele is gonna be my official pick. Moving on, we have Jonathan Milcalef versus Thamba Grimbo. Yeah, I'm taking this off. It's too itchy. I think Thamba could pose some issues to Milcalef because Thamba has been training, with these Russians, and I think Milcalef is a little overrated. Now, the thing that worries me with this fight is Luque. I know Luque has a really good front choke series, so you could sub him. But I don't know, man. I think this guy, he's been subbed by AJ Fletcher, man. Like, this guy, in my opinion, is just not good. I think Milkalef's sub is pretty live. I think Thembo on the feet is pretty even, but I don't know, man. I think this is probably gonna go to Milkalef because Milkalef. I know. Let me see the odds on this one. Yeah, he's like plus negative 235. I'm gonna go with Milkalef here because if Milkalef does not sub him, I could see this fight getting weird. But most likely, I do think Milkalef subs him just because I do think his grappling's better. He has good back take series. Um, I don't know. I just feel like his jiu-jitsu's better. He does look pretty bad. Like I think Oban Elliott was piecing him up prior to the finish. But I, are we really going to compare Themba's striking to Oban Elliott's? I think Themba is pretty rudimentary, honestly. He's got power, but other than that, I don't know. I think this is going to be a Milkalef fight, especially in home territory, but who knows? Crazier things have happened. Money line, I don't know if I'm going to bet this fight. Probably not, but I do think there is. I haven't seen the odds on sub yet, but I do think Milkalef sub is probably a decent look here. I don't know what the odds are probably going to be, but we'll see. I'm tempted to look. Let's see. Plus 190, it's probably over plus 200 on domestic. It's not even a bad line, honestly. I wouldn't mind even taking a shot on that, but we'll see. Yeah, I gotta go with Milkalef here, but yeah, anything can happen. Moving on, we have Ben Johnson versus Wes Party Time Schultz. I think this is a weird one because Ben Johnson, although he's super dangerous, he hasn't proven anything yet. He's still pretty green. Like he's 5-1. He's fighting. I don't even know what gym. He has a few finishes from 2 years ago, and it's like, who are you really beating? Like, this guy's coming off pretty bad shoulder injuries, so it's like I don't know what his grappling is gonna be like. And if you're facing someone like Wes Schultz, who can be dangerous not only on the ground but on the feet, I don't know. I think Wes Schultz looked really bad his last fight. Yeah, but that's against Damien, and Damien hits like a truck. So it's like I don't know. Like maybe he was just scared of the power. Maybe Ben Johnson can get him out of there. I think he can. But the thing that if it's not Johnson KO, I think this is gonna get pretty hairy. Cause Wes Schultz knows how to like get to like weird positions, find submissions, and he can be dangerous. So I don't know. I'm gonna go Ben Johnson here to lean. But if you told me that Wes Schultz finished this guy, I would not be surprised. I think the odds are pretty self-explanatory. Like it's not like he's a massive favorite. He's only like negative 140, and that's probably similar to where I would have him, like negative 150 even. I think that was probably where I'd cap it. Like I don't think Ben Johnson has proven himself to be at the UFC level yet. I lean him just because of how bad Wes Schultz is, but like I said, if you told me he loses this fight, I would not be surprised at all. I think Ben Johnson is just not proven. I think Ben Johnson has an injury that he's recovering from, and I don't know how he recovers from the shoulder injury. You know, shoulder injuries are usually really, really tough to come back from in MMA, or because you're using your shoulder and everything, whether you're punching, you're grappling. So I don't know, man. This is a weird one for sure. I'm gonna lean Wes Schultz, like I said, but or not Wes Schultz, Ben Johnson, but just be careful with this fight, guys. Like I don't want to see you guys like max betting one guy just because one guy is so bad. It's like we don't know enough about Ben Johnson at this point in his career where he's at. He retired. Like these are all not like pretty big red flags. So it's like I wouldn't run to bet this fight. There's a few fights like this on this card where it's like I wouldn't run to bet this fight, but I do think Ben Johnson KO is probably the way it happens. I'm probably leaning a lot of props this card, but props are usually what I lean on when fights are like this. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ben Johnson though. We'll see what happens. Moving on, we have Vince Morales versus Colby Thickness. I think this is a close fight. Um, I think at plus money you gotta take Morales here. I just think Thickness is just proven. I think if he does not get, well, I know if he does not get Musasa down in that last round after the nut shot, I believe it was, he loses that fight. because he needed that rest to get Musasa down, and if he doesn't get that rest, he loses the fight. So I think Morales has good enough jiu-jitsu and takedown defense to absolutely nullify any of the grappling from thickness, which makes him, have to strike with Morales. And I think Morales is more seasoned on the feet. So I'm gonna go Vince Morales here. I'm gonna go Vince Morales. He could submit thickness, but I'm gonna go decision. I feel like this could go either way. I think he could, submit thickness, but I think the most likely outcome would probably be decision. I think Morales is probably just a little too seasoned, a little too, like he's faced better guys. Like if you look at his record, like you're like, okay, well he's fought Taylor Lapilus, Raul Rosas Jr., Elijah Smith. Like these are all his last three UFC fights. Before that, he finishes Luis Guerrero, someone I rate pretty highly on the feet, dangerous. Hunter Azure finished him by submission. Yuki Matoya and Ryzen. Like, these are all really good guys, and he's doing well. So it's like if Colby does not get him down and keep him down, I don't know. I think Colby's gonna have some trouble. I think Colby has not looked good in his UFC tenure so far, and I feel like this is another spot where I could see Vince, showing the young guns what's up. Like I know he lost to Tapuria, which isn't a terrible loss, but I don't know, man. I don't think he's that good. Moving on. We have Jacob Malkoun versus Gerald Mearshart. I want to keep it short. I do think Malkoun wins this pretty easily. I say that because GM3 is glacially slow. Is not really known for his striking. He can be dangerous, so I think GM3 KO or inside the distance isn't a bad look. I think like that's the way he's going to win. But I don't know, man. I think Malkoun. I think these odds are insane. Just off first part, but Malkoun's looked pretty good as of late. Like he dominated Torres Finney. He TKOs Andre Petrosky with a beautiful hip strike. Absolutely legendary moment. He would have beat Cody Brundage, but Cody, my man, I cashed that ticket. Fight does to win by TKO or DQ in the first round. That was a fun cash. Happy that one hit. But other than that, this guy hasn't lost in the UFC. If you've looked, no, Brandon Allen was his only real loss. And even that, like that was a pretty close fight if you ask me. Okay, he lost to Phil Haas, but that was bad. Other than that, he's done pretty well if you ask me. So I don't know. I think this guy's really good. He deals with power punchers, but Gerald Mearshart can hit pretty hard. He's slow and he's 38 years old, so that's probably a big reason why I'd stay away from this fight. He's on a 4-fight skid. He hasn't won a fight since August of the summer of 2024, so he's probably hungry for a win. And if he loses, he probably might get cut. So I don't know, man. It's one of those fights. I just think the odds are a little crazy. Let me see what they're at right now. Yeah, plus 675 is pretty wild if you ask me. But if you guys are looking at playing that, then good on you, I guess. But like not Mearshart, Malkoun, if you think that's still value, I don't know what to tell you. I would definitely not bet that. But to each his own. If anything, at these odds, I'd probably look for a donation spot on GM3. Because don't get me wrong, he most likely loses. But at these odds, I'm willing to pay to find out, right? I don't know if I'll take it because GM3 at this point in his career, it's most likely a donation. But you never know. I'm gonna think about it, look at the weigh-ins, see how they both look, and go from there. But yeah, man, pretty crazy odds if you ask me. Pretty crazy. Moving on, we have Kevin Christian versus Junior Tafa. I gotta lean Junior Tafa here, but man, I'm rooting for Kevin Christian, man. Kevin Christian's like a hood legend, if you know, you know. This guy is horrible, absolutely horrible. But the one thing he does do well is he's got pretty okay jiu-jitsu, and he's gonna come to scrap. He's long. He can be dangerous on the feet. I wouldn't advise him to strike in this fight. He's going to be pretty outmatched. And I don't know if his wrestling is even a thing, so I don't know how he's going to get Tafa down. So all this, breakdown, it probably does favor Tafa, but I just can never bet Tafa. He is so bad. And I could just see Tafa gassing out somehow, and now he's going to be in the Christian verse, and then what? Christian verse sounds so freaking ridiculous. Yeah, let's just say Kevin Christian is very, very bad, and he should lose this fight. But if Kevin Christian somehow pulls this win out of his ass, I will be very happy because I do not like the Tafa brothers, and I do think that Kevin Christian is a meme, and I think memes should prevail. Memes are awesome; they're good for the sport, and yeah. Sorry, my computer's dying. Let me charge that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Junior Tafa here. Let me see what the odds are for this one. Yeah, pretty fair, negative 210. I would probably put it around there too. But man, Kevin, this guy is so bad. It's crazy to see that type of number next to his name after his last performances. I know he looked okay against Alicante to start, but this guy is so bad, man. I think Tafa is one of the worst to do it, and I think that's just a testament how bad Kevin is because if people are assuming he's gonna lose to Tafa, then you already know how bad this guy is So I don't know, guys. Be careful with this volatile fight. Definitely don't go too big on it if you are deciding to bet it. Moving on, we have Cam Rouston versus Robert Brischek. I think Robert Brischek is a decent fighter. Don't get me wrong. I think he is pretty serviceable. He has a good record, good experience. He's beat guys. That Brad Tavares fight was pretty good. How many? Yeah, we're making good time. 16 some minutes, so we're making good time. I think Robert Brischek is dangerous. I think he's got KO power. He knocked off Kristovic, Chadwick, Stritzlik, which isn't that impressive, and he's been doing his thing. So I don't know. I'm gonna lean. I'm gonna lean Rouston just because Rouston has showed me better striking, like technical striking. But if you told me Rouston got knocked out, I wouldn't be shocked because this defense isn't exactly amazing. He uses a lot of tall man defense, and if he just gets caught, people say he got hurt versus Brundage. I don't think he was hurt. I think it was like he got knocked off balance. So I can't really use that to show he's got like bad durability or bad chin. I'm probably just gonna take Cam Rouston here because I just think Cam Rouston is just a superior fighter, and I just don't think Brischik is very good. So it's like I don't know. I think Brischik is okay. He's serviceable, but I just think Rouston has some skills that are gonna be a little too much for Brischik, and I think the size is gonna be there. And I think the range is gonna be there, and I don't know if Brischik's gonna be able to get to that chin. So I'm gonna go Rouston here, but again, I would not be surprised if he did get caught. He is a little bit too loose with his defense, and anything can happen when you are not being defensively responsible. So I'm gonna go Cam Rouston here. I think the knees, his jab, his length is gonna be a big problem for Brischik, and we have to remember Bispic's not on the sauce anymore, so he's just adjusting now to not being on the sauce. So who knows how he's gonna look in this fight? He fought an old man in Tavares last fight, and who's getting hurt by everything. So I don't know. I think Rouston probably wins this fight. To be honest, I don't think Bispic's that good, and I think the odds that people are buying Bispic down. So I think it's Rouston could be a parlay piece. So yeah, I'm gonna go Rouston here. I think it's pretty fair. Oh, we could even play him straight now. He's down to negative 175. So I might end up betting Rouston come fight day. So yeah, that's my read. Moving on, we have Ty Bam Bam Tuivasa versus Louis Sutherland. Um, I'm gonna go. This is a close one. Let me see what I got here. I'm gonna go Tuivasa, but it's like a 50-50 fight. Tuivasa showed his last fight. His grappling is horrible. Absolutely abysmal. He has no jiu-jitsu, no wrestling, and I think Sutherland can do enough to stay on top and potentially grind out Tuivasa for a win. if he does not die on the feet. That's a possibility because Tuivasa can crack, and Sutherland looks horrible when he's not on the sauce. Like, you see this picture of Sutherland right here, and you're like, damn, who is this guy? He's a beast. Look at those traps. But the thing with Sutherland is he's not on the sauce anymore, and he looks like a, you know, a fat woodshop teacher. Like, he looks horrible. So I'm gonna go Tuivasa here. I think this is a spot where Tui can win. I think it's a coin flip fight. I think if Sutherland gets him down, that's probably the round. And if you can't get him down, I could see Tui just landing a big bomb and finishing him. So yeah, I'm gonna go Tuivasa here. Not too much else to say about this one. I think Sutherland is again as he's as probably as bad as it gets for 265. He's pretty bad, man, and his wrestling is what he's relying on now that he's off the sauce. He used to be a big leg kicker, big power puncher. But now off the sauce, he's just kind of like very timid and like goes for a lot of wrestling because he just can't. And he's also in the UFC now, so it's like competition isn't as easy. But I still don't think like he. I think he looked better on the regional scene. I know again competition, but that's not everything. A lot of the time, these guys just don't look as good coming to the UFC because they're on a bunch of performance enhancing drugs, and when they can't take those drugs anymore, you can see the difference in their fight style and their physique. So I'm gonna go Tuivasa here, but man, it's really tempting not to take Sutherland at these odds when Tuivasa's looked as bad as he's looked. So yeah, slight lean Tuivasa, but pass fight. Moving on, Brandon Percec versus Shamil Gaziev. I gotta go with Percec here. This is close though. Another really close heavyweight fight. I think the thing with this fight is Gaziev can be hurt, as we saw his last fight, and if he cannot get you out of there, I feel like he's gonna be in for a long night. So I'm gonna go Percec, but I am conscientious that he has not made it outside of round one, um, many times. So I'm gonna go Percec KO1 because that's what he seems to be doing. But he's got a KO over the lead co, Stosic, Velasco, submission, Kornilov. He's got some good wins, man. So I can't really sleep on Gaziev. He's got some good wins. I think it's a coin flip fight. If you ask me, he knocked out Thomas Peterson, which is So yeah, I don't know. Losing to Waldo doesn't really show me. Oh, you're not a level. I think Shamil's dangerous, and I think this could be a very close fight. And my first initial read was Gaziev. So I don't know, man. I'm back and forth on this fight. I might come to a different decision by fight day or Friday, but for now, I'm gonna go with Percec because his home. It's his home. He's fighting in, and he's got some momentum coming off of a big finish. I know it's against Louis Sutherland, but it's still a finish. So maybe Percec can get him out of there round one. If not, I don't know. Maybe Shamil's gonna blob his way to a win. And yeah, this is one of those fights, man. It's a very close fight, and I wouldn't be running to bet this fight. This is a very very close fight, and honestly, I got no interest in betting this one. So yeah, Percec round one KO or I don't know, weird one. Moving on, Marin Brahiki versus Ollie Schmid. I think Ollie Schmid is. I think he's pretty dangerous, honestly. Looking at his tape, he's been KOing people stiff. And I just think that's a really dangerous recipe when you're fighting someone like Rahiki who's very, very hittable. So depending on these odds, I might be taking a little poke at Ollie Schmid KO. I think anyone is with KO power or threat is live to knock out Rahiki. Rahiki is just asking to get KO'd. He's so hittable. Um, the thing about Rahiki though is he's a dog, and he's gonna fight. He's gonna put out. He's like a great hammer, and not the worst nail. So it's like I do think Rahiki could survive a storm, and just KO Schmid. So it's like one of those deal. I'm gonna see what the odds. I haven't even looked at the odds for this fight yet. I'm curious. Um, don't see anything for this fight yet. Yeah, I don't know if they posted it, but yeah, I gotta go with Rahiki here. I think he's already come off some pretty nasty finishes. This guy's got crazy power, pretty good accuracy. He's athletic, good scrambles. So I think it's going to play out on the feet. And if it does play on the feet, I feel like, yes, Ollie has a KO puncher's chance. But if he does not KO Rahiki, I feel like he's going to be in a really, really tough fight. And I think that's where Rahiki thrives, is these tough, gritty, scrappy fights. And I think Rahiki is just that guy right now. He's coming off a lot of KOs. I know a lot of them are against bums, but the last two have not been bums, and he's just leveled up and showed that he is at that level. So I'm gonna go Rahiki here. Hopefully we can get a good number on Schmid KO just to cover our ass in case Rahiki sells. But I think Rahiki probably wins this fight. Um, yeah. Moving on. Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. We have. I'm gonna lean very slight lean to Steve Erceg. I think his boxing is just gonna be better. He could wrestle if he wanted, but I don't know. Tim's got this funky style where it's really tricky to deal with, and I could see him losing a decision to Elliott. So my back. I don't know. I could see this being really weird. It's a weird fight when Elliott fights. Always awkward. That's the nickname. And yeah, I don't know. I just think this is one of those fights, and I just think I think Erceg is just going to be probably a little bit too much. I feel like his boxing, the crowd advantage, and potentially even the grappling could be all in Erceg's favor. I feel like this could get messy, and that's where Elliott thrives. Erceg does like a pretty fight, but I don't know, man. I think Ode Osborne had success, but Ode Osborne was also bigger than Tim Elliott, so. I don't know. I think Steve got knocked out by Kai Kara France. He lost to Pantoja and Brendan Moreno. So it's like I don't know. I think Moreno, all these guys are part of the top of the division, and I don't know about Tim Elliott anymore at this point in his career. So yeah, weird fight. I'm gonna lean Steve Erceg. I think the odds are a little wide, so I know some people are betting Elliott. They are taking Elliott, but plus 185 is probably not worth touching anymore. I would have taken plus 200 and above if I was gonna take Elliott, but I'm not. I'm gonna pass on this fight most likely. I just think Erceg's gonna likely win. I lean him at least. Um, but yeah, guys, be careful. Bet responsibly on this one. And yeah, oh, I might have got hit in the head or something. Got like a goose egg or something. Yeah, I think Steve probably wins by just mixing in the boxing and the wrestling and being fundamentally sound, winning moments, and yeah, fighting in home territory. It's going to be highly motivational for Steve, and I think that might bring out the best Steve. So we'll see, and yeah, moving on. Quillen Salkilld versus Beneil Dariush. I gotta go with Salkilld, man. I don't know what is going on with Beneil's eye. He looks like he has droopy eye in the media day stuff, and he just looks older and older every time we see him. And I just don't like his chin has gotten really bad. Like he's been chinned in one, two, three, four, five, the six. He's been chinned in like all of his latest losses. So, other than one sub, and I just think Salkilld is just better. I think he is better striking right now. He's more durable right now. He's riding a bunch of confidence right now, and I don't know if Beneil is. Now, the one thing I do see for Beneil in this fight that he could exploit is Salkilld. If he cannot get you down and if he cannot win on the feet, for whatever reason, I could see Salkilld going to wrestle as plan B. And if that doesn't work, that's where I feel Benny could have success. Because I do think Benny has one really good thing in that scramble ability. And I think he could out scramble Salkilld. But again, I don't know what Benny's going to show up. He's been pretty hit or miss. He beat Moicano last year. But after that, they gave him Benoit, and we all saw how that ended out. So I just think his chin's gone, and I do think Salkilld could chin him. But I'm gonna go with Salkilld, man. Like I said, I can't trust his chin, and I think Beneil is just. I think like he's coming into this fight with a droopy eye, and who knows what else other injuries he's coming into the fight with. So I can't trust this guy at this stage in his career, and but I am rooting for him. I do think it would be cool to see him, turn back another prospect one more time. So Yeah, I'm gonna go Salkilld here, but I'm gonna be rooting for Mr. Benwil Dariush. Yeah, Salkilld, most likely KO. Round one. Moving on. Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates. I lean Prates here, but it's very close. I think Jack's boxing and pressures could cause Prates a lot of problems, but the knees and striking it from distance that Prates has and the hitability of Maddalena, I think is probably going to benefit Prates. I think he's probably going to touch Prates, potentially drop him, hurt him. And I don't know, maybe Prates could get the finish here. That would be a pretty crazy fight. I love both these guys. Oh, I'm not wearing my Prates shirt. Oh, I'll show you guys. If you guys don't believe me how much I love these guys. Oh, one sec. Two. I have more, but I have the one, my Prates one. I have the one. Oh, the light. Yeah, I kind of see it. Jack. You guys thought I was done, right? Here's my other Jack one. Um, find this one. I know I have it. I just don't remember where I put it. Probably on the other side. Yeah, here it is. So here is my Jack one. And my Carlos one. Like I have a lot of shirts, man. Like I love these guys. These are by well, Mike's my guy. I love that Mike's my homie, so I want him to win. If there could only pick between the three, but out of who are my favorite to watch in the division, it's Jack and Carlos. So yeah, big love to these guys. I really don't want to see them lose, but one's got to lose, and I got to pick. It's gonna be Prates by KO. Jack's boxing and his ability to just make it scrambly and ugly. I think he can win this fight, but man, Prates is so calm in there. He's so methodical, nasty knockout artist. He always has he's a big knockout artist. I think more of a knockout artist than Jack. Jack has some nasty KOs, but Prates has like how many KOs consistently and how many fights. So yeah, man, I gotta go with Prates here. It's a close fight, but yeah, I don't know. I really don't know with this one. This one's a really close one. Alrighty, guys. Last card we did. I don't even remember what we did for fight of the night. Top picks. I think I got those ones. I can't remember how I did with that. I won't even go into last card. Who cares? This card is what you guys are coming to watch. So, for prospect of the card, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Rahiki, and I'm gonna go two Rahiki and Louis Southern. Rahiki and I'm gonna go Jonathan. I don't even know. I'm gonna go Cody Still and Rahiki. Probably Rahiki. Rahiki's my prospect of the card. And then my fight of the night, I'm gonna have to go. Probably I don't even know, man. This one's weird. I'm gonna go Erceg and Roaston maybe. Maybe I don't know. That's a weird one. Maybe Rahiki and Schmid. Rahiki's a freaking dog, so maybe. Or maybe in the main event. I think Madalena Prates also could be, I'd say between Rahiki and Schmidt and Madalena Prates for fight of the night. And if I give you my top five most confident picks, number one, I'd have to say Malkoon. Number two, Rahiki. Number three, Salkilld. Number four, Mikulev. And number five, Cam Roaston. Those are my top five most confident picks. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. Um, guys, I keep doing this every single time. Please, if you join, just be active. I had to boot a lot of people out of the Discord. just for not being active. So if you do get kicked out, don't take it personally. I have nothing against you guys. It's just I need people that are active in there. One time a month, say hi, something. Let me know who you are so I know you're not a bot. I don't have time for bots. I don't have time for weirdos in there. Share your opinion. I may give you a hard time about some of your opinions, but I would assume you do the same for me if I say something that you disagree with. That's what makes it a fun community. But yeah, guys, like, subscribe, you know the drill. Join if you guys want. If you don't want to join, don't worry about it. Just keep tuning in here, and I'll keep dropping some content. I'm gonna try to get some PFL video out as well. Gonna wait on the weigh-ins and see how they play out, but most likely gonna have a PFL video out for you either probably tomorrow, I would say, because today I'm gonna be pretty busy. But how to make sure I get it out for you guys. I know it's early, really early, and I'm surprised I even did this coherently, but I did, so credit to me. A little pat on the back. Alrighty, guys. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you next time. Peace. Oh, wrong button.